back to another video. In this video, Brantley and I are sitting down to talk about the Batman and if it should be rated R. Before we get into it, if you guys are new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you don't miss any time I upload a new video or I go live. But without wasting more time, let's get right into it, talking about Robert Pattinson's The Batman. You guys know me, I'm so hyped for this movie. Brantley is so hyped for the movie as well. We do have a trailer coming in T-minus 2 weeks. So before we get into talking about this, Brantley, how hyped are you for this trailer?
And the first trailer, it's a classic. Probably my favorite trailer of all time. Like, it was just amazing. First time I saw it, it was just my jaw was on the floor. So this second one, I already know it's gonna be amazing. The first one dropped only 30% of the movie film. Now that the film is completely done filming, I don't know what we're gonna see in this next trailer. We should get a lot of this new stuff, a lot of this cool kind of things. I don't want to see too much. I still kind of want like a lot of mystery to be there.
Yeah.
But I still want to, see a bit more. Maybe see a bit more, see more of the action, maybe a little bit more Riddler, possibly, whatever. But I don't want them to show too much more like big reveals or anything like that. So I still want them to kind of keep the mysticism there. But I'm pretty hyped though.
Yeah. One thing that I don't want to see more of, low key, I don't want to see more of Riddler, bro. I kind of want to see him like with his mask, but like I kind of want to keep him a little secret, you know? Like I know he's the main villain of the movie, but I kind of want his like ominous tone to still be there. And I think that it, like, obviously I still want to see more Riddler. You know, we got those promo photos and he looked absolutely sick. But overall, I think that I don't want to see too much of Riddler just yet because I do want to save him. But also, before we get into it, do you think we're going to have a third trailer for the Batman? Because technically the first one was a teaser.
I think we'll have, it just dropped in March.
Yeah, so we get one January.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, probably sometime like early New Year. So I can definitely see a third one. But I don't know. I think maybe the third one, I can see kind of being like, I don't know, not too much shown.
I think it could be a rehash of the last two with more dialogue or something. Without wasting more time, I want to get right into the main topic of this video, which is talking about if the Batman should be rated R. Now, I went on Reddit the other day, and I saw a lot of people talking about this. People were like, oh, the Batman has to be rated R for it to be good, for it to be grounded, for it to be realistic. But Brantley and I, for the most part, disagree with that statement. Now, the main reason for this is because we don't think that it'll limit Matt Reeves and his vision. There's no need for tons of blood, gore, and like cursing and all that kind of stuff for it to be dark and scary, right? Like, there's so many movies that already like, oh, you guys know me, I love my blood, I love The Boys, I love Invincible, you know, I love my live action, I love my animated, I love all the blood in the world, but it's not necessary.
No, I don't. I mean, I think if anyone's seen the Planet of the Apes movies, they know that. I mean, those movies have some fairly dark moments as well, and I feel like you can do the same thing with the Batman. I think that anything can be just as dark as a rated R film, just without violence or whatever. But if you get like dark theme stuff, dark scary moments, I mean, you can still do that with a PG-13 rating. So I think that you just kind of have to get a bit more creative, maybe. And I think that kind of makes it more interesting too, because I think the director can kind of have more fun with it and get more creative with them kind of being somewhat boxed into the PG-13.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna limit him at all. We even saw like in that first teaser when we saw him like Batman absolutely demolishing the thug. We heard the bones cracking and stuff like that, and that gave us enough impact.
I mean, I'm pretty excited. I think that Reeves I don't think he's rated off him to kind of execute his full vision. I think he can kind of work within the boundaries of PG-13.
And also, we've never really seen like a absolute brute force Batman. Like obviously, you know, Ben Affleck, he's a big man, but Robert Pattinson, like he's letting out some real anger here. The older Batman movies really were very dark. Like even Zack Snyder's interpretation, which I'm not the biggest fan of Ben Affleck, but it was still fairly dark. Like with the mental state of Batman, like Ben Affleck's character was still pretty much in the dirt, and we're gonna see that with this one. Nolan's movie really pushed that rated R rating. Like it was almost getting up there apparently, but it was a lot of the themes and stuff of the movie, such as domestic abuse and terrorist violence. Terrorist violence was really prominent in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, no, I think that the first trailer really gives off like that kind of vibe. I think it's really like the first trailer really teeters on the line of almost rated R and whatnot. Because even like you get the picture like the dead dude with like the writing on his face or whatever, like you have all these kind of things like similar to the movie. It's gonna be pretty dark, like kind of like viewer can see like it's gonna be a pretty dark movie, probably the darkest Batman film so far. So I think that Reeves already in the first trailer showing us that he's gonna kind of really walk that fine line, not really ever cross it, most likely. So I mean, I think that like you said, he just has to kind of just be creative. I think that with you can not show certain things. I think sometimes even in our own minds we can kind of imagine certain things being a certain way, and it's even scary the way someone could just show us visually. So I think that stuff like that you just really have to get creative, as I said earlier. And I think that like you said with the Nolan trilogy, I mean, those movies as well. I mean, had some pretty dark, intense moments and whatnot. I mean, like The Dark Knight, what we insane.
Yeah, I think Matt Reeves knows how to teeter that line. Planet of the Apes. There were a few scenes in those movies where I was like, okay, if they gave us the actual Matt Reeves cut, it might have been rated R. If they actually gave us the Matt Reeves cut of that shot.
Yeah, so my reasoning also for it, like, to not be rated R, I think that it just doesn't make sense from a business standpoint. We have Batman, his IP, all his characters, like, he is, arguably, probably the top, the most popular superhero, like, ever. Yeah. And so it's like, it's just that would be a huge risk and a lot of money missed out on not having kids and teenagers be able to, like, see this movie, legally, of course. So I think that it's DC, I think that they will really have to, like, trust Reeves and really just kind of really take a huge risk, which I don't know if they're willing to take that risk, and I don't think that they are going to do it. So I think just that reason alone is kind of holding me back from being rated R. You never know. I don't know. DC, they might have some tricks under their sleeves. I think that the reception of this movie is definitely going to dictate where, like, the rest of this kind of universe is going to go. So yeah, that's kind of my big reason why I don't think it's rated R.
Yeah, overall, I just think, like, especially since Pattinson, like, we already know, like, they're doing all these spin-off shows. We already have Penguin, GCPD confirmed, right? The Batman animated show is rumored to be canon. We don't know 100% yet, but it's rumored to be canon until, like, that year one story that we're basically skipping ahead of in the actual Batman movie. We already know that there's going to be a whole Batverse surrounding this Robert Pattinson Batman, so I don't see them taking the risk with this first movie, but I do see them doing this in the future if this movie does absolutely banger numbers. Brantley, you did mention before we started recording something about the GCPD HBO Max show potentially being rated MA. So do you have any, like, thoughts, anything how you think that they connect an MA show to a PG-13 movie?
Yeah, I think that's how they can kind of balance it out. I think that the TV shows can kind of really go in just that fully dark direction. Of course, we look at the TV MA rating, which is like the rated R equivalent for TV, if I'm mistaken. So I think that the shows, they can really just use that to kind of their full potential in that aspect. I think that'd be fine, especially if it's on HBO. It's already on like a mature network, obviously. So you kind of already telling people, this show isn't like for everybody or whatnot. But it's still going to be connected to these movies. But I'm still interested to see how, I guess the only thing would have to be, I don't think that, like, the shows could, like, well, we already know that it's a prequel, so that's good. So I think that already kind of feeds it from, like, having too much effect on, like, the sequel or whatever for the Batman. So I think that, yeah, they can really go all in with that rated R rating when it comes to the show. I don't know about the Penguin show. I don't really know.
I think that's the one I think it would work the best with, though, because I think, for example, like GCPD, right? I think if, like, the Robert Pattinson's Batman is gonna be in the GCPD show, he's not gonna be a main character, but apparently he's still gonna be in the show, obviously. That Batman symbol being there in a rated R thing, like, does DC want that? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, obviously, it's like, it's good for the character, in my opinion. I think it would make sense, but it doesn't have to be rated MA 100% for the fact that Batman's about to kill someone, but Batman walks in at GCPD, there's a dead body on the floor, we see it, they're doing some investigation type of stuff,
But I guess I was saying more, so I don't know exactly, like, what, like, the plot and stuff of that show's gonna be.
Yeah.
Or how it would fit, but I think definitely was the thing show. That'd be crazy, like, just him do, like, brutal stuff. Like a mobster or whatever, like, that could be pretty interesting. So, the Penguin show, that's the one I'm probably the most intrigued by. I don't know what direction they're really going to go in with that show.
That's basically it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys can check out all of Brantley's social medias and all of his links and stuff like that in the description down below. You can check out mine as well in the description down below. Again, let us know if you think the Batman should be rated R in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.